Hey, Saints man is back. Small van driver of the CX. Had my week in the Gambia. Me and my good lady. Fantastic time. Beautiful weather. Tan's gone. Extra chin for eating too much. And had a really good time. Relaxing. Got back a week last Saturday morning. We travelled through the night, so we lost a night's sleep. So we're a bit knackered. And we're back on the job Monday. Back on the CX. Hadn't got nothing booked in. And instead of being recharged and ready to go, I was in my, just can't be asked. But I did get a job Monday, first thing, and it was Northampton to Luton. Well, first thing, 9 o'clock pickup. And in fact, it didn't go to Luton. It was Northampton to Northampton, about 6 miles. There was a communication problem between the shipper and the customer, and the shipper said, just take it where they want it to go. And he kept the money at the same. So I got really good pence per mile. Good start to the week, really, which didn't actually carry on. Second job I got, I had to travel in Milton Keynes from Northampton. I was near junction 15 anyway, the M1, and it was about 15 miles. And the job went from Milton Keynes to Banbury, which is fair enough, and I got decent money for it. And with the dead miles getting there, it still worked out okay money. And took 5 boxes to Banbury. Not a simple job, no aggro. And then looking for a job, and it took a while. It did take a while. And I eventually got a job out of Woodford House near Daventry, and that was to Redditch. And I took that job, and probably shouldn't have took it really, I suppose, because Woodford House is about 20 miles from my house. And you're in the mood then, shall I just go home? But I hadn't got enough money. I hadn't even done 100 quid. And I took the job to Redditch, which got me a good money. And Redditch is normally okay. Anyway, got to Redditch, delivered that. That was easy enough. It was 6 boxes going into Redditch. I've been there before, the company, so I knew where it was. No problem. And then I was looking for a job home, really. I weren't staying out unless it was going to be something worthwhile. And there weren't a lot. And I was going to make my way home. And then a job popped up from Hinckley, which was a good distance away. But it was getting delivered to London to meet a driver in London, an engineer, should I say. And I decided that, if I could get that, I was going to go past Northampton anyway. And then I put that. So I put a really good quote on that. And it was meeting a driver in North London on Kilburn, which is the A5, just to pass the motorway. And I put a really good quote in and I got the job. And picked that up and took it home. So Monday was done. Did 3 jobs. Okay, not brilliant money. And I got a good job for Monday, and I got to meet the engineer there at 9:15. So I had an early start Tuesday. I left the house at 6:30, and he was going to be there 8:30 to 9 o'clock. And normally, if you just did that, that'd be about an hour and 20 minutes. But with the traffic in London, I actually got there at 9:15. Phoned him. And it's a good job I did because it was a residential house. They were doing up massive house, and he was doing the electrics for it, and it was the electrics. And because I phoned him up, he knew exactly where I could park, which on Kilburn High Road is a nightmare. And I parked, got it all done. And then I'm looking for a job. I decided to park at Brake Cross. Come back out of London at the A5, Brake Cross Shopping Centre, Tesco's. You get 3 hours, and I think I used about 2 hours 45. And getting out of London is still a nightmare. It's still, people are getting to London and then bidding ridiculously low to get out of London. It's a well-known fact. It really is. I was quoting quite low. I even quoted, because I've got really good money going down, I thought I'll quote quite low. I was quoting 65 pence, not even getting a sniff. And I don't normally quote that low, but because I've got good money going down, I just wanted to get somewhere home, really. Or out of London. But I waited nearly 3 hours. I was just about to move from the car park I was in. Further up the road, there's a retail park, and go into that car park. But a job popped up, and it was from Woking, which was a good distance away. But the job was going to Northampton, and it was with a shipper from Northampton. And it was going to take me over an hour to get there, but luckily the job was an hour and a half. It had a time frame, so I could do the job. And I put a quote in it, quite a good quote. Loaded mileage, it was really good, but I'd got a lot of dead miles to get there. But it got me home, got me to Northampton. And it's a shipper I know really well. I do loads of work for them, local shipper to me, and they sent the job through. So, yes, I did have a fair bit of dead miles to get there, but it got me home. And if it had been just loading miles, it was really good money. But obviously, with the about 40 miles, I went 35 miles to get to it. It's about 35 miles, yeah. It was decent distance. But that made that an okay day, actually. It was all right. In fact, it was a pretty good day because the mileage going down to London was really good, really good. Wednesday, I couldn't start early because really early I couldn't start because we had our Nissan Elgrand in for a service in MOT, which was I dropped that off, and I got the first job was Milton Keynes to Daventry. Milton Keynes to me, it's only 17 miles away, and there's a lot of work comes out of there. And I still quote really good prices, not expecting to get it, and I do get some. I think the drivers all got their loads, and there's no one actually there. I don't know, but hey, I got Milton Keynes to Daventry, which was easy enough, nice and simple. It was just 4 small items, 2 boxes and 2 packets, easy. Dropped that in Daventry, and then I got a job from Gaydon. It was near Warwick, and that was to Swindon. Only 1 box, 1 big box, and it was to Swindon, and it was to an engineering company which I've been to before. And I took a punt. I thought, let's go to Swindon. It's going to be 1:30, 2 o'clock, probably later than that. And punt didn't work. There was nothing. It was dead as a doornail. And I need to be home because I've got to pick the van up that had been MOT and serviced. I've got to pick that up at 7:30 at night. That's where it's going to be left. My mate Darren was leaving it and leaving the key safe, and me and my wife were going to pick it up. So I had to be home. I couldn't do a trip out. I've got to get home, and I got knelt. Absolutely jack. So I drove home from Swindon, which is not ideal. It's 68 mile it was, and I didn't have a brilliant day. It was a crap day. Wednesday was shocking. So the CX hasn't woken up as yet. Thursday, I got a job out of Daventry. I booked a job actually Wednesday. I booked a job for Friday as well. Wednesday, although it was a shit day, I was looking at the feed. There was jobs on there. I picked a job up for Thursday, good money. Going from Daventry to Rugby, really good money because it was it got a lot of miles. And I'd also booked a job in for Friday, which was a 6:30 pickup. Friday morning going down. So I got jobs Thursday morning and Friday morning booked in, which is a good start. Gets you going. Anyway, Thursday we did Daventry to Rugby, and it was a poxy little box, a small box, shoebox size. One engineering company to another. Minimum charge for me. Minimum charge in the summer is normally 35 for me, the small van, midi van, or whatever it is. But I'm doing 30 quid at the minute if it's low mileage because I'm not going to get it at 35. It's the market. Anyway, did that job to Rugby, and then I got a job from Lutterworth to Birmingham, and I got that job before I finished the first job because it popped up on my feed, and I was only 8 miles away. I think it was about 8 miles, and it was to Birmingham. It was to Birmingham Airport, so it was Coventry side of Birmingham, and there's normally a lot of work out of there. And I took that job, lovely, and it got me to Birmingham really quite early. I was in Birmingham 10:30, and got a job pretty much instant. It was pinging in Birmingham. And I was going to get home. I worked tramping Thursday night, and there was a job to Aylesbury. 3 boxes to Aylesbury from Birmingham. It was from Tamworth, which is a little bit north of Birmingham, but got that as well. I'd quoted on a few jobs locally to Coventry and that, but there's obviously people underquoting 30 quid. I know it's only 10, 15 miles, but it's going to take you over an hour. With your paperwork and that, I think it's 30 quid all day long. But I got good money going to Aylesbury. Really good money. It's a fair way, but it goes back across past North Atwell because then the M40 and it picks up, and Aylesbury's 40 miles from my house. So we done that job. Again, a fairly good day. Thursday wasn't my target. My summer target of 200 a day. Not hitting it at all at the minute. I've got a winter target of. I've got a summer target of £1,000 a week, And sometime, hopefully, spring, it's going to be a grand a week. But in the winter, and it's coming out of winter, if I do 750, that's 150 a day. I'll take that. I'm doing less miles. Friday, I thought I'd got a good chance of getting good money Friday because I got a 6:30 pickup going down to a village, Cheveley, near Newbury, and it was one pallet from a bondage warehouse in Rusden, which it was to a farm. They took the pallet, no problem. And before I'd done that job, there was another job out of Newbury to Oxford, which it was a 10 o'clock pickup, and I bid on it. Quite strong money, very strong money actually for where it was going, and I got the job before I finished the first one. But I was in Cheveley just before I'd done the delivery, and because it was going to a farm, residential like type address, I knew there wouldn't be no hanging around, and I was done at 8:30. So I had a bit of a wait. I went to Cheveley Services, grabbed a coffee, went and fueled up, and I went and picked this load up early. It weren't to be 10 o'clock. I got there at 9:20. I didn't go in. I sat outside the company. It was a small electronics company, and he came out with a part. He said, "No, it's ready now." So it's always worth doing that. I think if you are getting somewhere early, don't pressurise them. Just if you even introduce yourself and just say, "Oh, I'm from such and such couriers. I've got to pick up, but I'm a little bit early, but I'm outside." And I didn't even have to do that because he seen me outside. He said it was a van, small van, and he obviously presumed I was the courier, which I was. So that was easy enough. And it got me to Oxford, right in the middle of Oxford Centre, city centre. Luckily, the place I went to, they got their own car park because it's nightmare parking. And I went back down to where B&Q. It's B&Q, I think. There's some retail outlets on the way into Oxford. I parked in one of them, got 2 hours free parking, and I used nearly all of it. I used about 1 hour 50 of it. And I was just about to move. There was jobs, but on a Friday, I am not looking to go to Llanelli, Kent, Scotland. Man, there was 2, 3 jobs going to Scotland. Got a bit dark. Clouds got out the window. But oh, it's better. So yeah, oh, lights poor. I'm in a back bedroom again, but this light's crap. Sorry about that. But anyway, I thought I need one good job to get me done. Now I'm in Oxford, and there was jobs coming out of Newbury, and they'll go. There was this, I know what these jobs are. Anyone does Newbury. There's a big company there does medical stuff to hospitals, and the company that do it, I do quite a bit of work for. And sure enough, there was one on there which I weren't initially going to quote on. It was 2 drops in London. I knew they were going to be hospitals, and I thought, well, if I put this money on it, it's going to be worth my while. But I'm going to get nothing out of London then. I'm going to be driving home. But because I'd done 2 really good jobs with really good money, I decided I'll bid on it. And if it goes for what I'm bidding for, then fair enough, I'll do the job. And sure enough, he phoned up and he says, "Yep, can you do these?" And it was 2 hospitals in London. It was Charing Cross, which is a massive hospital near Hammersmith. I had to go to the theatres, 14th floor. And the other one was the King Edward VII, which is probably the poshest hospital I've ever been to. Apparently they have royalty and all that sort of thing. And that was a good job of the company I collected from. This driver had been there and he told me exactly where to park, so I wouldn't get a ticket. Which appreciated that was, because it's right at the centre of London, and got the job done. Well over target for the day. For money wise, that it really boosted the day up. But I travelled. It took me 2.5 hours to get home, do 60 odd mile, getting out of London on a Friday. Wow. We shouldn't do it really because it's just time consuming, but it's the way it is. But I did get a job booked in for tomorrow. So I've got a job tomorrow morning out of Kettering going up to Normanton, which is near Wakefield. I got really good money on that. In fact, it's a midi job because I've got the Doblo, the L2, classed as a midi van, and it's a big pallet which fits in my van. So, well, good money for it. So, first week back. It could have been better. It really could. But considering what the work is about and what I'm hearing from other YouTubers and other guys, it is a bit cutthroat at the moment. It really is. So you take what you can get. I normally do about 1,400 miles a week, something like that. 1,300, 1,400, sometimes 1,700, depending if I'm doing really long distance. And I did 1,100 miles. My duty time, I did 47 hours. So I still did a fair old whack duty time. A lot of that was waiting, by the way, and a lot of dead driving. And I did 27 hours driving, so I averaged about 5.5 hours a day, which is okay. My money was 763 with VAT. It was 91560, which of that I have to pay 9% to the government, which takes it down to 833. So still a good week, really, when you think about it. Not bad. Average 75 pence. So although I didn't think I'd done brilliantly well, Friday actually saved me and got me a good wedge and saved the week, really. Yeah, strange one. I didn't think I'd done that well, and then when I added the figures up at the end, I had to add them up a couple of times to make sure I hadn't bugging them up. But yeah, so I'd worked every day. I couldn't get the third job on Tuesday, Wednesday. I couldn't get the third job. Thursday, couldn't. I got two small jobs and another one. I couldn't get the last job. It dies. The CX dies in the afternoon at the moment, whereas in the summer and the last autumn, it was just kept going. So, so yeah, we're pretty happy. Obviously, we'd rather be on holiday, but we ain't. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to put a request. If you watch the video and you like what you see, please push like. Please subscribe, because subscriptions help. I'm up to almost 800. And I don't normally ask for subscribers, but if you're going to watch it, it doesn't cost you anything, as the other guys say. And it does get it out to a wider audience, and hopefully we can help people. Any questions, please ask. I'm going to do a little... I've had the van now for 3 months, the Doblo. So next week, I'm going to try and do a little review on what I think of the Doblo. By the way, the Berlingo, still the Citroen Berlingo, my other van, which engine went tits up and turbo and all that crap, that's now sold. We didn't actually do it up in the end. We didn't put nothing in it. I sold it as it was and got pretty good money for it. I was pretty sure I'm going to do a video combined with a Doblo, how much money I lost on the Berlingo over the time I had it and how much it works out roughly in depreciation. It's quite interesting, I thought. But yeah, so I'm going to try and do a small video during the week on the first 3 months of the Doblo and the Citroen Berlingo, how it depreciated, what money I lost on it through the time I had it. So, like I say, please like and subscribe. They're along here somewhere. I don't know. Oh, it's all right. My wife's just wandered in. So, yeah, hope everyone's doing all right. I'll speak next week. Cheers.